Hello ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Black Ops 3 today, and a little bit of a review piece and a little bit of just me kind of talking about general things about the game, what I think's good, what I think's bad, multiplayer zombies, and a tiny bit about single player at the end. I'm going to put some timestamps in the description below, so if you want to just skip to the zombies or the single player, feel free to do that. So we're going to start right now with the multiplayer. Now I want to start off with saying that I absolutely hated the two before. I think they were Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. I bought them. I've bought every single COD since Call of Duty 3. Played Big Red 1, that was my first Call of Duty. So I've played a lot of Call of Duty, and I must say that the last two were the worst by far. I think they were Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. They were that bad I can't even remember their names. They were absolutely shocking. I remember I picked them up, and I hate the online, I hate the guns, I hate the maps, I hate what they were trying to do. Advanced Warfare was worse than Ghosts. Advanced Warfare, if I remember correctly, is the one that started off with the jetpacks and all that kind of stuff. But they were weird. They were kind of like a straight up thrust, and you could have like a little bit of movement. In Black Ops 3, they improve on that a lot. The general parkour and the jumping around and using the jetpacks is so much easier. I don't know if for some reason I've got in my head that in Advanced War they were a kind of power-up thing. I don't know if that's true or not. It might be. I don't know. I'll check after I finish recording this audio. But it was a weird kind of way to dodge gunfire. You would shoot straight up. You'd be disorientated. You didn't have a clue where you were going. This one is a lot more of a kind of a slow kind of thrust upwards. You can run on the walls, and it recharges pretty quickly, but it just feels a lot more easier to flow around the map. Also on this, the maps on Advanced Warfare used to be two-dimensional. You had an upstairs, a downstairs, and maybe a third tier that you could only reach with a jetpack. This one's not like that at all. It's easier to reach some places with a jetpack, but generally there's nowhere you can't access by jetpack that you can't access by walking, which I think is really neat, because it blends the two perfectly. Of old Call of Duty, like your Modern Warfare 1s and your Black Ops 2, with the new direction they're going in, which seems to be a lot more mobility focused. Obviously Call of Duty's always been mobility focused, but I think this one just makes it that much kind of that further mobility. So that's how I think about the mobility, and that's going to lead me onto the maps, because I think the maps in Black Ops 3 are really good. Now I hated, like I've said, the maps in Advanced Warfare especially. Ghosts wasn't so bad. I think Ghosts was just more... I don't know if it was me getting fed up with Call of Duty, but I felt like a lot of people were sick of Call of Duty at that point. Advanced Warfare just reiterated that. But Black Ops 3 has really kind of thrown me back into it, and it's made me realise what I used to enjoy through the Call of Duty games. Now, by the way, I just want to say that I don't think Modern Warfare 3 is a good game. I haven't spoke about Modern Warfare 3 being a bad game. So you might think that I think it's a good game. I don't. It was terrible. I mean, Advanced Warfare, Ghosts, and Modern Warfare 3 was shocking. The last one I truly enjoyed was Black Ops 2. Anyway, that's the subject in a minute. We're talking about the maps, and the maps I think are really good. They're varied, and you do end up playing on a lot of them at the same time, because the ones that are better are a lot better than the ones that are bad. So everyone votes for the Combine. I forgot their names already. I'm terrible at this. Never do this again. But Combine being probably the prime example of everyone you play that map about 5 times in a row if people have their way. And then you have the Jungle map, which is played like once in a blue moon. I still think it's a good map design, but it's just nowhere near as good as Combine. You can go underwater in that now as well, which you're not going to see in any of the gameplay footage, I don't think. I'll have a look for something for you. But you can shoot underwater. That's a nice little... It kind of adds that third dimension again without making it only accessible by a jetpack or some weird little trick. So that's really neat. Now the guns. The guns in this game, I never fell in love. The last gun I truly fell in love with was what I think everyone fell in love with the UMP-45. It was a nifty little submachine gun that it demolished everything. If you weren't using that, there was something wrong. Now, I feel like there's a couple of guns like this in Black Ops 3 that are just kind of a bit more OP than everyone else. But then I feel like there is the versatility to move around. I mean, there's a Shiva, a semi-automatic rifle that 2 hits infantry. I've seen a couple of people use that, and it's nice to see that it isn't all about the automatics anymore. I used to be a big fan of the ACR. And I know a few other people were as well. So it used to just all be about fire rate and your mobility. That was it. But because you've already got that kind of mobility aspect through your jetpacking and your free running, you can navigate around the map really fast without ever really being on foot if you can string it together. Which means you can open up to have a bit of bigger weapons. I've seen a lot of people using the LMG, the Gorgon. That's a really strong gun as well. It's not fast, but it's really strong. Even pistols, I see a lot of people using pistols, running around with that, because obviously the critic class is the same as the previous game, and I think it was previous game before that. I really can't remember, but it's in the sense that you have tokens, so each attachment costs 1 token, each gun costs 1 token, perk 1 token, and you have a maximum of 10 tokens. So if you want, you can run around with a fully kitted out pistol and then all the perks, if that's what you so wanted. But pistols are really strong, so there's a reason to have a side weapon now. I mean, you used to just kind of, that was your last resort. That was like balls to the wall. I've got fucking nothing left. Let's pull out the pistol. But now you can run around with a pistol if you want. It's a viable weapon opportunity. But I must say, the one gun I love is the Kuda. It reminds me of the UMP. It really does. But I don't see many people using it. There's a lot of people using the Weevil, which is a very, very fast gun, or the Vespa, which is also a very, very fast gun. But I don't think it's about the fire rate anymore. Like I was saying, you can get that Shiva or the Gorgon. They're a bit slower. I use it in this gameplay, the Shiva. They're a lot slower, but you can still pick up kills with it if you're good enough. And that's what I really like about this one. It's kind of brought the skill element back, and it's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous just who shoots first kind of thing. It feels like a complete game, this one, and that is the first time that's happened for about 3-4 years. The last game I enjoyed was Black Ops 2, and even then that was a bit. I enjoyed it, but I could see that the franchise was going downhill. So that was sad to see. But there it is. This one's bringing it back. I forgot the last one. Black Ops 1 was the last one I thoroughly enjoyed, I think. Was it? I forgot what came first. Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 2. Either way, they were the last couple that I really thoroughly enjoyed. And this one's bringing it back to a similar way. Like I said, they've introduced the mobility with the jetpacks. It never used to be there. A lot of people dislike that, but I think they've done it really well compared to Advanced Warfare. I really do, and I feel like they've just kind of made it a really fun game to play. A couple of my mates have got it that haven't bought Call of Duty for years, and they're really enjoying it. I don't think they would have enjoyed it if they bought Advanced Warfare, and they probably would have put them off it again. So in general, multiplayer is good. It's a lot better. I'm sure there's a big things I forgot to talk about. I'm trying to think of them now as I'm talking, but I'm just going to end up talking shit, so I'm going to stop and we're going to move on to zombies. So that is it for multiplayer. If there's anything else, feel free to leave some questions down below. I will do my best to answer whatever I can, considering there's probably going to be about 20 people, if that, who leave comments. It shouldn't be hard. But multiplayer is good, and if you're going to play this game solely for multiplayer, I think it's a worthwhile mention. Why I do remember, they've introduced classes which are playable characters. Now there's only 8 or something of them. This is for multiplayer, and I just want to shout out that it's a really good idea that you do get your special abilities like your hives or your Spectre's gun or whatever. That's great. It adds a lot of kind of variety to the gameplay and really does kind of play with it a little, so you can get your specialised guns or your specialised abilities. But I really hope they add more customization. At the moment, there's 9 pieces, there's 9 helmets and 9 bodies, if you're not using the black market to unlock. And you do see a lot of repetition. I mean, a lot of people play Spectre, and a lot of people play Tempest, and a lot of people play, well, used to play Sparrow. But you see a lot of people in the exact same armor. And when you go to that kind of last kill screen, or the showcase screen, the trophy screen, and they all look the same, it just kind of ruins the immersion a little. It's not a big one. I just hope in the future updates, when they bring out some DLC or something like that, that they kind of add a bit more to unlock, and really go balls to the wall with the customization, because it's a really great feature and they can make it look so cool. Anyway, now we're going to move on to zombies, which is the second biggest thing out of the 3 in any Call of Duty, really. Single player comes last, multiplayer is probably first. Zombies is probably up there for some people. Some people just love the zombies, and I must say I adored zombies, and I used the word adored because this one is good. It's a solid game, but my biggest nag, and it's a huge nag, is that it's so focused now on completing Easter eggs for a story that really isn't there, and it's not focused much on the survival of rounds. And that really if you're not playing with friends, or even the maps I feel are designed for this kind of thing, so even if you are playing with friends, it's really hard to just kind of play to survive. I absolutely loved the zombies in World at War and Black Ops 1. They were done perfectly. They were the most perfect combination you could have of round survival, gameplay, and a story with hidden Easter eggs that kind of alluded to this mysterious story. That was fantastic. You could do the Easter eggs if you want. They were usually half an hour, but then you were straight back on to surviving. That was it. With this one, it's probably worth mentioning I didn't touch the alien game mode or the exo zombies at all. I just didn't bother with either of them. So this is the first zombies I've played since Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 zombies were alright. They started going downhill, but Black Ops 3 really focuses on the story and the Easter eggs, and that is great for some people. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially YouTubers, that will hunt for these Easter eggs like crazy. But this one, I think it takes 3 hours, 2 hours. And the map is just so focused around doing these Easter eggs. The 4 characters, it's always pushing you to do the Easter eggs. I don't even know if you could call them Easter eggs. They're more like objectives now. And that's my massive gripe with zombies, is that I preferred it much more when it was just a simple, you jump in, you play your rounds and survive as long as you can, see how high you can get on the leaderboards. That's great. But now I feel like if you try to jump into a random game, or you and a couple of friends try to find one randomer, they always just want to go and do that Easter egg. It's always just like, how fast can we do it? Let's just... Round 1, for example, I was playing, you might see it in this game out here, round 3 or something. We've unlocked most of the rooms, and they're starting to collect the worms for the Easter egg. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense, or if any of you are going to even agree with this, but I think that's really ruined zombies for me. And I know some people love Easter eggs, and love finding out the story. And I like finding out the story, I just don't wish it was so... I'd rather just read it on the wiki and play the game, because I absolutely loved just sitting there and surviving for as long as I could. I thought that was fantastic. Especially on the very first World at War map, one of my favourite World at War maps. It's so simple. It's a 2-story building with, I don't know, it must have been about 12 windows. No special infected, nothing like that. Like in this we have the Magua, who's this gigantic 3-headed beast thing. One hits it, it's just, I don't feel the need for it. And some people might. And if you've been playing zombies through all of them, I'm sure you've got pretty bored of that. But I feel like this map is so overexpansive, it's so massive, and there's so much to it, and there doesn't need to be. I don't mind Easter eggs, but when you've got to go fucking capture flags and pick up swords, and then kill zombies around the fucking flags, I don't see a need for it. And I think I might not see a need for it, but when you're trying to play a game with randomers, 3 randomers, who all see a need for it, because that's what the game is now. That's what it is. It's how fast. Let's go do the Easter egg. Let's go and find out that story as fast as we can. And I think that's ruined the kind of survival round aspect. And that is my massive gripe with the zombies. But like I was saying, zombies in it, it's a solid game mode. There's so much there. They've added its own progression system. You can unlock special gumballs, which give you special powers. I like all that kind of stuff. But the focus on the just go and do the swords as fast as you can is really ruined it for me. And I kind of hope they pull it back, but I know they're not going to. They're going to focus on this, and that's a real shame in my books. But I don't know if that's what you guys agree with. So if you have any questions, or if you want to comment on what I've just spoke about zombies, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Like I said, I will answer them all, because I think zombies is an interesting one to talk about. I really do. I could talk about zombies forever and ever and ever, because in this one they have removed the in the Shadows of Evil anyway, they've removed all the exo abilities, so you can't double jump or anything like that, no jetpacks. It is just you're straightforward, you're on the floor, you got your guns. But then they've overcomplicated it so much in other areas unnecessarily, for someone like myself. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I have not got the skill set to do that, and they're so focused around getting to that point where you have the swords, and I don't actually know what happens, but getting all that kind of stuff and doing the Easter egg, that I can't survive anymore. I get to round 10 and they're just out overpowering me because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, and that's half the fun, I know, But I just don't. I wish I could just sit there in a corner like you used to. I remember, was it The Rise? You could sit on the top of the thingy, and it literally was just fucking shoot down that hallway as fast as you could while the zombies come up, and see how fucking long you survive. And that was fun. I enjoyed that. I don't enjoy this as much because you've got to stay on the move, and it's all very focused and orientated on the story. And the story's not even there for me. I mean, they've got to start wrapping it up, maybe. You're on the moon at one point, and then you're in some alternate dimension, and it's just, apologies for that, by the way, and then you're in some alternate dimension, and it's so kerfuffled. I really don't know. So like I said, if you guys got a question, or you just want to comment on what I've said, if you agree or you don't agree, throw it down in the bottom there, and I'll reply to you. Let's get a conversation going. So now we're going to talk about the single player, and it is going to be very short. It's a Call of Duty single player. There's nothing more to it than that. It lasts 5 hours, 6 hours, if that, maybe even shorter. However, once again, it's got its own progression system with your own classes you can make. You get your own levels in it. You get some cool emblems and whatnot for your multiplayer profile. So it's worth doing. But the story's shit. The story is terrible. It is really shit. I don't know. I've played games in my language that I've enjoyed not in my language that I've enjoyed the story too more. I mean, it's like Inception, the video game, and I'm not on board with it. I'm not following it. I don't care for it. Call of Duty have done some pretty good campaigns for a shooter, but this is not one of them. I really like how they've done the progression systems, and it kind of feels like online in a way. But it's not online. I like how they've done that, and I really like how they've made it 4-player co-op. That's a great addition. Me and my friends can play it. We can all go a different kind of role, do our own thing, and it's fun to play through any game with friends, I think, with the exception of a few hardcore RPGs. But I don't like the story, and that really throws you off of playing it. You get so bored playing it, but then if you want to complete the story once you've started it. However, when you do complete the story, there is one reason, although I think they've unlocked it for everyone. I'm not sure now. Once again, I'll have to check. But I think they've unlocked it for everyone. But there's a nightmare mode, which is essentially zombies. They changed the campaign, but they changed it to be zombie orientated. It's got no relation to the zombie mode, but it's called Nightmares, and it's just kind of an alternate storyline, which I think is really neat. That's a really good idea, if the storyline wasn't so shit to start off with. So guys, this has been my Call of Duty Black Ops 3 kind of discussion review. Miniature review, I don't know. If you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking of doing more of them. Hopefully you guys liked it. If not, feel free to leave a thumbs down. I think that's the first time you've ever heard someone offer you to do that on YouTube. If you liked it, leave a great thumbs up. It helps me out. And if you want more, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.